we'll get started with Torey. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get you the microphone. Who is the first question? We'll start, I can't see, on the far left, Torey.
Yeah.
Torey, I'm wondering, after a game like this, what you say to the guys first, and then secondly, the way you came back, is that something you can take into tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. This was a grinder. This was nothing that we saw coming. We've had guys that have been throwing the ball extremely well. We've been picking up the baseball on defense, and it all came unraveled on us there in a matter of 2 innings, and it's 10 runs. So as you're dissecting it and looking at it, you fall down 11-1, and then you keep fighting. You stay connected. You commit to the plan and the process for 27 outs, and you close the game up to 11-7, got the fans engaged, got a ton of energy, got their closer in the game. There's a lot of positives to draw upon, and I will. But we got to tighten up the things that we know that went wrong, and we'll do that. And then we'll come out tomorrow, and we got to go 1-0 tomorrow. We got to be ready to play our finest game tomorrow and not worry about anything else. It's an all-in mentality. And this team has done it every time I can remember. They've never let one another down, and I expect that to be the same tomorrow.
Good. Paul, standing on your left, Torey.
Torey, speaking of positives, Ryan Nelson hadn't pitched a whole lot in the past month. He takes down 68 pitches tonight, 5 innings, leaves a lot of guys untouched for tomorrow. How big was that for moving forward?
It was huge, and I told him that when I was taking him off the mound, and I wanted to make sure that his teammates heard me say that without him, without his effort, without his commitment to staying ready, the disciplines that it takes behind the scenes to make sure that you can go out there and give us 65, 75 pitches and keep us right where we needed to keep this thing. So we're gassed up tomorrow in the bullpen. That was a true team moment. And, because of him, we're going to be in a spot to use our guys tomorrow and hopefully win a baseball game. Without that, we would have been in a really bad spot. And he sacrificed. I know he was gassed out there at the very end, but he sacrificed for the good of his team.
Go 6 rows back on your right, Tyler.
Torey, did you know that Nelson had 5+ innings in him? And if so, would he have been an option to start this game? I know hindsight's perfect, but he did a great job, and the first few relievers did not.
Right. I've been talking to Strong about the same thing over the past 4 or 5 days. If Nelson's needed, what is he going to give us? He assured me that he's been staying ready. He's been throwing bullpens, touching fields, and he's maintained a little bit of length. Not quite the 5+ innings that he gave us, but we felt like he was going to be able to give us 6 pitches. Yes, hindsight is 20/20. You look at it a little bit differently after you know what the outcome is, and maybe he was an option for us after an opener. Maybe he was an option for us to start the baseball game, but he did his job and didn't surprise me. I just know that there were some wobbly outings in the postseason, and we were trying to protect him a little bit and build up his confidence and get him in the right spot, and today certainly was that.
Second row on your left here.
Hey, Torey, curious, wanted to get your thoughts on the job that Joe Manaply has done for you, not just tonight, but throughout the second half of the season, throughout the postseason, and why you have such confidence in him to be an opener when you need to go bullpen game.
I like the heartbeat. I like the dedication. I like the ability to execute, and I just thought he was going to be the right man for the right job there, and he did a really nice job. Look, it hasn't been an easy year for Joe. He's an all-star last year. He's trying to duplicate that, trying to make everything perfect. It didn't turn out that way. Found himself in the minors grinding, and I know there was a lot of people around him coaching him up. He accepted that coaching, and he's a very dependable back-end reliever for us. And we switched his role today. I lost that ability to use him on the back end, but I thought that much about him that I needed him to go out there and get what started out as 3 up to 6 outs, and he was really good for us today.
The fourth row on your left.
Torey, just generally, what are the challenges that present themselves with a bullpen game that don't present themselves if you do have a starting pitcher who is capable of going deeper into the game?
Yeah, the obvious ones, the way the game splinters, and you guys got to make some in-game adjustments, and you got to just think things through a little clearly about the best matchups. I've got a ton of information that's really dummied down into one little thought, which makes me less dangerous, and I'm able to go out there and make what I hopefully will believe are great decisions to match up. So it's a game of matching up, and it intrigues me. I know the players are ready for it. I think it intrigues them, and everybody's race ready. So the challenges are to get the right matchups and get the right pieces in place. We felt like we did that. We just didn't execute. You could see what happened. They had their top 3 hitters that had 3 at-bats before the bottom of our order had 1 at-bat. That's unacceptable.
Go to Gabe, second row on your left.
Kind of piggybacking off that, you had the bullpen game against Philly. You got away with a win there. Is it just the odds are just so against 6 to 8 guys being on point and passing the baton the way that you need to be able to prevail in a game like this, especially against Texas?
Well, yeah, their lineup presents some challenges. They had some guys at the bottom that hurt us. Jankowski probably would have been playing this game if Garcia was healthy, and he banged the baseball around today and got some really big knocks. So we got to be spot on and not take anything for granted, and be as ready as we possibly can. Who's ever coming in the game in these types of situations? Yeah, it does present some unique challenges, but these guys have done it. We've done it several times this year. We've had specifically Joe Mantiply as an opener. We've used different guys at different times, and it's worked with some success, a certain degree of success. We just made some mistakes at the wrong time.
Do 2 more. Pete, on your right.
Torey, you've talked about watching some of the classic World Series games when you were a kid. Is it hard? You're trying to win however you can win. Mm-hmm. To have a World Series game like this, 13 pitchers and both teams having trouble getting outs? Yeah,
I know it wasn't your traditional World Series game with a lot of World Series moments. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to win a baseball game and find the best way to go out there and do so. We know that we've got our 3 starting pitchers lined up for the next 3 days, and this is just where we've been as an organization to have to do something like this. But the game is a little bit different than it was in 1975, right? When I was watching the Big Red Machine against the Boston Red Sox, right? That was just totally different feel. This game's changed a little bit, and we just did all we could to win a baseball game today.
I'll finish up with Barry on your right.
Hey, Torey, so half an hour before the game, the Rangers basically put 2 of their best players off the roster. Mm-hmm. Do you expect them to be coming out flat? Because they certainly didn't. They really came out kind of like with an energy and fervor.
Yeah, not at all. Bruce Bochy's in charge of that baseball team. They're very focused. They're very determined. We did not take anything for granted. We expected their absolute best. We knew probably a little bit before it came out. We probably got that word sometime during BP that it was shaping up that way. Their shared information, I think, is very professional. The Rangers did a great job of handing it off to us, which we're thankful for because we got to start to prep for the next reliever that's coming out, and Burke, right? And then, we're going to try and project what their lineup is. So they did a great job in getting that information to us as soon as they knew. But we did not. Nothing was diminished. We knew that they were going to come out swinging with whatever group they started.
How do you think that's going to impact the rest of the series?
Well, I hope in a positive way for us. You lose a really good player in Garcia, right? But and potentially Scherzer. But it looks like they got a couple of good understudies that got after it today. We just got to be better, and we will be.
Torey, thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Yep.